Energy stocks are back with a vengeance. If you're looking to get back into the energy party, we're gonna analyze oil stocks and oil services stocks today and the secret Strait of Hormuz winner that are triggering buy signals right now or just ahead of triggering them. If you've been looking for investment and swing trading ideas in energy, you've come to the right place. Let's go. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day. My name is Daniel Wilhelmi, and while I got you here, a couple of housekeeping things. If you come from a non-English speaking country and you're watching the videos in English, there's also a chance to change the language into German, French. Hopefully we have Thai. I really want to hear what I sound like in Thai. Maybe some weird Star Wars languages, who knows? So check the options. It usually takes a while to upload the different languages after the videos get published. So if you are worried about time sensitivity, then watch them in English. If you care more about the information, then maybe you can watch them later in your native language. So with that done, second housekeeping thing, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you for subscribing. Thank you for watching our channel. I know you have your options, what to watch to get your information about the financial markets and the commodity sector, and we really appreciate that you choose us as one of your sources to invest your time into the markets. Now, enough of this. Let's make some money in the commodity markets. And the sector where that is happening is energy. I've been talking about it twice this week alone. So don't tell me you were not informed if you watched our videos here. On Monday, I told you get in on the European oil stocks. That worked out really nicely. We talked about Halliburton. That worked out outstanding. And if you miss these type of videos, hit the subscribe button so that doesn't happen to you. Now, this is the XLE here, and as you can see, it looks fantastic. Downtrend broken, check, and we're back above the 50 with a vengeance. Now, how do the oil stocks look? And why are the stocks, energy stocks moving? And the oil stocks are moving. Now, the uranium stocks are moving, and that's obvious why they are moving. We're going to do a separate video about that next week, and that's because of the AI spend of big tech. The oil stocks are moving because there's no real resolution to the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices are higher. And remember, institutional investors are still massively underinvested in energy. Now we had to run up in software. We had to run up in semiconductors. We've seen with Meta, we've seen with Microsoft how nervous the market is as soon as tech doesn't deliver on blowout earnings. So they're looking at, well, where will there be growth with good valuation? And that leads them, obviously, to energy and the oil companies. Because the oil prices are higher. If they stay higher year over year, that alone will guarantee a large increase in profits, even if these companies don't expand their production and the valuations are still cheap. So let's look at some oil stocks because that's what we want to know what's going on. And we're going to start with the big three in the US, and we see Chevron, downtrend broken. They all look the same. All the downtrends are broken. It's party time. And it is about to break out above the 52-day. Look at the RSI. Fantastic. Not oversold at all, just starting to build up buying dynamic. And that is what we're going to look at. This looks completely different than some of the tech stocks out there. So, as I told you before, Chevron putting out numbers tomorrow. So that might be risky if you're interested in buying it today. And I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just showing you what's in the energy market, what's hot, what are the possibilities. I personally would put it on my watch list for sure. ConocoPhillips looks even better. Downtrend broken. We're already way established above the 20. Look at this beautiful test of the support zone. Hit it perfectly. Reverse. We didn't even go back to the 200. This is a bullish sign for the energy stocks. Devon looks even better. That one looks outstanding. That's actually the only one that is really looking like, okay, it might have run up a little bit. So with Devon, maybe we'll get it on a pullback. Maybe this area here. All right, the gap fill with a 50 moving up. That could be in the cards. I'm a big fan of Devon Energy, as you know. Now, one that I wouldn't be buying right now, even though it looks the best one of all of them, is Diamondback Energy. That has been the biggest winner that not a lot of people are talking about. But same thing, right? Earnings coming up on Monday. As you can see, look at the RSI. That's one that's a little extended. Yes, we just made new highs. That is super bullish. This was a great runner for sure. But when we look at risk reward, there are other oil stocks that just look better. I've talked about this one, Gulf Keystone Petroleum, on Monday as well. We talked about it here. So we had a nice run up already, like a 5% in a few days. That's very nice. Still fighting with the 50. So I still think this one could see a pullback in the 190, 191 pence range. So that could be interesting to get in. The 200 just held beautiful. Look at this setup here. I mean, that's ideal. If you want on a technical analysis, look at this. Downtrend, broken, 200 confirmed, check, support zone, check. Didn't even fully test the uptrend. That's as bullish as it gets. Exxon. So we round out the big three. Same thing. Right? Let me draw in the downtrend here real quick. But as you can see, it's broken as well. We already, with Exxon, made higher lows and higher highs. We got the 50, but it looks right now, pre-market, we got to wait for it. But looks like the 50 is going to break today. If this holds, we got a couple of gaps that are going to get filled really quickly. We establish ourselves above the 50. Exxon looks great. Also comes out with earnings tomorrow. So I told you also that the services are back at it again. And we talked about Valero, which is a refiner, not a services. I get it. But we talked about it on Monday. This one looks really good. Look at this. We're here. Broke the downtrend, and off we are. It's not going to take much. We take out basically this zone right here. We get to 256 on the close. We got a runner. I really like Valero, and as I pointed out in Monday's video, if Valero has these consolidation periods, and then when it breaks out, it really breaks out. It's a perfect swing trading stock because it has these consolidation periods. You catch it early when the breakout happens, which is what we did, and then you get the run up and you can trade that one great. And that's the thing. The stock market often is just filled up with surprises. But if you catch them early, if you see them early, you can get in, and that then offers you great swing trading opportunities, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, badminton, right? You wait for the opponent to play the ball to you, and then you attack with the ball that the opponent plays, right? If it does a drop, then you maybe do a drop back. Drop is when the badminton ball goes like right behind the net. So you see what the opponent plays, and then you do your counter attack off this. What the market is playing right now is the energy stocks. And by the way, this is really interesting for us, and we need to remember this. We have seen this movie before. Remember last fall, winter, when I was here and I was one of the very few people that was pounding the table to get in on energy stocks, and the oil price wasn't moving and nobody wanted energy stocks. Energy stocks started to get hot, and I told you, hey, smart money is buying energy stocks. They're positioning themselves and they are hiding behind the oil price. Energy stocks moved first, then did the oil price. Energy stocks are moving right now. It'll be really interesting to see if we see the same movie where all of a sudden the oil price starts to move later. And the smart money is already positioned in the energy stocks exactly like they did in the fourth quarter of last year. And we saw, if you follow dog pool transactions, we saw monster dog pool transactions last week in energy stocks. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And again, right, by the way, badminton, great sport to play if you have a great partner to play with. So, Halliburton, our perfect runner. Look how great this looks. New high. If you're long, I am long Halliburton. You stay long. This was a perfect trade. I think we talked about it here on the channel around $35. You're up 20% without, I don't know, doing nothing. Just sitting back, eating some tasty pho. And that's it. No need for hectic day trading. Just read the trend, read the markets, put on some swing trades. You look really good. Here are two that I like and that I think we definitely need to pay attention to. Transocean out of the oil services. Look at this. Downtrend is broken, reclaimed the 50 on Monday, and then went up, consolidated a little bit because obviously we have some smaller resistance right here. There we go. So again, we got earnings coming up on Monday, and I think that's why there's profit taking. So this will be a tricky one to play. I would put it on the watch list. We get a pullback to the 50, interesting. We get a breakout, this thing runs. Look at the last big breakout we had. 26, right? We broke out, danced around a little bit, and then whoop, party time. Another one, Kinder Morgan. We already had the earnings, and they were great beats. The market really didn't do much with it because they fell into the period where energy stocks, oil services were just not laughed by the market. Well, now things are changing. And we got a healthy consolidation. We got a beautiful pullback into this support zone. And I'll zoom out here real quick to show you why this is important. So we had this support zone right here. We broke out, we retested it, classic textbook, successful because yesterday in a big move, we broke the downtrend. And we're right at the 50 and at this resistance support zone right now. If we get Kinder Morgan on the weakness, this is an interesting stock. Now, you usually need to be patient with Kinder Morgan. This stock definitely requires you to be zen. It often runs sideways longer than you think. But when it breaks out, it really moves. Right? And let me give you an example real quick of this. So while this has usually low vol in the options, it's not a great stock for option play. Look at this. For all of 25, this stock did really nothing. So you played this breakout, got burned. You played this breakout, got burned. You played this breakout right here with options. You got burned. But then all of a sudden it moves, and then it moves in a big way, which is, again, a fantastic stock for swing trading. You don't need to be first. You just need to be fast second on Kinder Morgan. And that's why I just point this out right now to put this on your radar so you're ready when the time comes. And now again, as I said, for a little bit of a bonus stock, let me get to it. Here we go. And that is Nutrient. We all know about the fertilizer stocks by now. Look at this. This one is super interesting. Nobody's talking about this right now. Where the monster run in 2026, this was even before Iran happened and the Strait of Hormuz happened, which makes you think, yeah, okay, someone knew something and positioned themselves before. We actually had a big consolidation, even though the Strait of Hormuz, the fertilizer story, gained traction, but we had this was anticipated clearly by someone. This is a bigger stock in the fertilizer sector. But look at it now, downtrend broken, and we broke above the 50 yesterday. We got still time, earnings coming next Wednesday. The earnings won't be that important, it'll be the outlook. I'm gonna pay very close attention to this stock. As you can see, there's a big gap fill. There could be a juicy swing trade in here. Well, that is it for today. I wish you a great weekend. I'm gonna go to the movies. I'm gonna watch The Devil Wears Prada Part 2. Let's see if I get some fashion ideas. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. We'll speak tomorrow with a really important video concerning the mining sector within the commodity supercycle that nobody's talking about yet. So look forward to that. Again, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that video. I think it'll give you an edge that will play out in the market. The market is just not seeing it at the moment, but it will come. And it'll be, I think, a hot story that we can use to our advantage. That's why you're here at Hot Trades of the Day. Have a great Friday. Bye-bye.